For our print layout, we're going to go into layout mode here. And I want to show you, we're going to go into layout 1. Okay. I want to show you a couple things that we haven't done yet when we're doing layout. If I go out up to this layout button, okay, this is going to let us do page setup. So I'm going to click on page setup, and we're going to do page setup for layout 1 here. We're going to modify this, and we just want to double check our paper size. We want 8.5 by 11. If we had a large print, then we definitely want to do that. And once we have this accepted here, then we are going to click on OK. We don't have to worry about offset for our plots. When we can set this up here to auto default to our printer as well. We want this to print to a PDF here. So we want to do general documentation is fine. It won't take up too much room. Okay, you may have less printers available on your computer, and then this will save it to your file. So then I click on OK, and I can close this. Now, if I wanted a full-size print, I can change layout here to a different size if I want. I don't need this viewport here to be so small. I can make this a little larger here for my print, and that will let me make my view a little bigger here. So just grab these and lay these out like that. And I want to shut off my grid mode when we're in here. So I'm going to click on paper on the bottom. Now it will say model. I'm going to turn off my grid mode. When we do that, this will let us move our part around. So center out this part. You can use this zoom extent here, and it will blow it up to full size. That's fine. And then the last thing that I want to do is when I'm on my black here, this yellow is fantastic. But when I go out to my layout mode, this is really light. So I think I might change this color for my yellow. So I'm going to go into my layer property. I'm going to change this yellow here to something just a little bit darker, easier to see. And that way when I go on this white paper, it will print a little darker. Okay, so you can do that depending on what color you chose. And let's print this first one as fractional. So I'm going to go up to my print menu on the top. Okay, as plot. Or because we set up our dimensions here, double check that it's Auto Cad PDF. Okay, and that it is 8.5 by 11. And then let's give this a name here. Oh, that's for page setup. We can ignore that. Let's just click OK, and that's going to pop up our menu. We want to save this in your J drive. So if you go to your computer and you pull this down, you want the one that has your number on it. It's like 5 numbers. So click on your J drive. You can have a folder in there called metals if you haven't set that up yet. Let me sort by name here. Here's my metals. And we're going to call this drill and tap gauge, and put your name after it as well, because you're going to, so just call it drill and tap fractions, because we're going to do this twice. Fractions and your name. So I'm going to put Mr. K. All right. So this is fractions. That's saved. Now it's going to process it, and it should pop it open on a new screen like this. I don't have to worry about that. So if that's done, this is what you're going to submit to the assignment. So there's one, but you're going to have to do 2 drawings. Okay. So and now what we're going to do is we're going to go back up into annotations here. So save this before you go any farther. Save it as your drill and tap gauge in case your computer crashes. I already have it saved. So I'm going to go now, and we want to change this. Remember how to change this back to decimals? If you do, go ahead. Otherwise, we'll do it together. Annotations, we're going to go down to the icon here for our dimensions. This pops up our style manager. We're going to go to modify, and we're going to turn on, this is fine, text is fine. We're going to go to primary units, and we're going to change this from fractional back to decimal. We want to change this to precision. Let's just go down to 3. That will be our thou. That's as precise as we ever need to go in metals 1 for our projects. And round off, we're going to round off to the nearest 3 decimals. Okay. And then I'm going to click on OK, and I'm going to click on set current and close. And that will change all of these to decimals. Now, if you need to fix anything up, like this is kind of covering up on my XY here, move a few things around before you print. You may need to space a few things out a little different, but otherwise, if that's ready to go, then we're just going to print one more time as a PDF, and we are going, okay, these all look fine, good. So I'm going to go back up to my print menu here, and this should say PDF again, and I'm just going to click OK, and this will pull up our last saved location, so we don't have to do this again. Now I'm going to click on the other name, but I'm going to change it. So it was fractional. Now I'm going to put in here decimal. Okay. And what we can do then, I got to get rid of the decimal. What we're going to be able to do then is we're going to be able to use both of these drawings in order to lay out our piece, and this will let us check our measurements with our vernier caliper. This will let us go over on our mill to make sure that everything's lined up, and we can double check the size of our drill bits for threading using the calculations on here as well. All right, so attach both of these, open your Classroom file, Google Classroom, attach both of these into the assignment, submit, make sure your name's on it here, and I will get your grade on it, and we are ready to move on into the shop and start laying this out on our pieces. Thanks for joining me in our design phase of this build, and we will see you in the shop. Take care.